So one of the unique advantages I have on being with the business that I do is that I negotiate over 140 deals on a monthly basis. And for Honda, we do anywhere between 40 to 45 Hondas on a monthly basis. So I have real-time data to tell you exactly the deals that we're getting. So instead of telling you invoice minus holdback, because most people don't even know what that means, I'm going to tell you what real deals, what to expect depending on where you live in the country. Let's start off with the 2025 Honda HR-V. This is a unique car. This car does not have a lot of markup in it. It doesn't. Depending on the trim, $1,000, and this is going to seem crazy, to $3,000 off. Now that $3,000 off would be the most insane deal. That is not a normal deal. $1,000 to $2,000 is very, very typical, is a great deal. The best deal delivered's ever done on an HR-V was once, and that was $3,000 off. Again, this is, just so you guys know, this is off of MSRP. There's no dealer add-ons, and this does not include rebates. We're not including rebates in this. $1,000 to $2,000 off this car is a good deal. Dealerships like to charge markups on Hondas, so understand that. The best deal that I've ever seen is $3,000 off. That was in West Coast LA. It was kind of an insane deal. CR-V has the CR-V and the CR-V hybrid. So let's start off with the CR-V. CR-Vs are pretty consistent for us, 7 to 10% off. We're seeing that all day across the country. The CR-V hybrid, depending on your market, Pacific Northwest, a little crazier. I'm seeing 5 to 8% off of the MSRP on a CR-V hybrid. So CR-V gas, I'm going to say 7 to 10% off. CR-V hybrid, 5 to 8% off. Now, if you guys want my opinion, I don't even know if you guys want my opinion. I would go with the gas over the hybrid. I think Honda as a brand has fallen in reliability. And because they've fallen in reliability, a lot of that I think does stem from the hybrid technology, which isn't as good as their competitors. I said what I said. That might cause controversy. The Passport, 7 to 12% off is what we're seeing on these cars, depending on the year. Pretty consistently, right around that 9 to 10% mark is what I'm seeing on the CR-V Passport. Let us move on to the Pilot. Now, the Pilot is one of our most popular cars. The most probably negotiated car that we do. Very, very consistently. 7.8% is the minimum discount we take on that car, all the way up to 10%. And the discount number actually will determine based on the trim. The lower trim you have, the lower the discount. If you go with a black edition, for example, you're going to see that 10%. That 10% all day. You hear me? But if you're on a base model or even an EXL, you're probably going to get closer to that 8% mark, right? So lower the trim, closer to the 7 to 8, higher the trim, closer to 10%. That is how we are doing the discount on the Pilot. Very consistent. Prologue, I'll be honest, I have only done 2 of these. Both of these deals were 10% off. I don't want to mislead you. When I don't do a lot of a car, I'm going to tell you, I don't do a lot of Prologues. But both deals, I got 10% off that vehicle, plus rebates. CR-V, I've never done one of these. Is this just a plug-in hybrid? Isn't this just the European model? This is only available in Europe. Civic Sedan. Civic Sedans do not have a lot of markup on them. $1,000 to $2,000 off is pretty consistent. The higher the trim, the higher the discount. Dealerships do try to charge above MSRP. Very, very common tactic in the Honda world, just to be looking out for, is dealership will advertise one price and hit you with like $2,000 of add-ons after the fact. Yeah. Have to be wary about that. Same with the hybrid. The hybrid is going to be a little bit less of a discount. Now, I know a lot of people are asking for it, but let's start with the SI. The SI is a very rare car. A lot of dealerships only get 2 or 3 every 6 months. I am definitely seeing deals right around MSRP to $1,000 off MSRP. But a lot of dealerships are $5,000 above. Let us move on. Accord, 7 to 10% off is pretty darn consistent. 7 to 10% off. That's the gas or the hybrid. We're seeing it on both. Closer to 7% depending on your market. If you're down in the Florida market, you're getting closer to that 10%. That Southeast, these discounts are a little bit hard or a little bit stronger on that car. Civic Hatchback, very similar to the Civic Sedan. Civic Hatchback, Civic Hybrid, $1,000 to $2,000 off. Not too crazy of a deal. Again, dealerships will try to be above MSRP on this car. You have to be wary. Now the Type R, I have gotten in hot water because I have negotiated 3 of these now. And I have people that work in my industry that say my deals are fake. That you cannot buy this car for MSRP. Let me be straight with you. let me be real with you. Let me have a conversation. I've done 2 deals. Both of these deals, I have gotten at MSRP in the last 30 days. This car, you can get MSRP all day. Some dealerships are going to look at you and say, you're crazy. Some general managers are going to laugh in your face when you go in the store. I'm not going to use names, but they're going to look at you and say, anybody who takes that deal would be fired. But there are plenty of dealerships that are willing to give you MSRP. You don't even have to travel. One of my clients had to travel, and that was in Florida. Florida market's a little rough on them. Plenty of dealerships that do Type R. And the funny thing is, you're going to be dealing with different types of dealerships. There are some dealerships, as you look at chat right now, have fun finding a Type R for MSRP. That's impossible. And then you're going to have other people who are saying, dude, I'll sell mine at MSRP. I don't care. Boom and boom. One or the other, there's no in between. If this was 2 months ago, I was getting $1,500 off these cars. As this market shifts, these deals shift. So if you're willing to wait 1 month or 2 months, guess what? You're probably going to be able to get a better deal. But MSRP right now is the today market on that vehicle. But I have seen below MSRP. I've negotiated personally below MSRP. Honda Odyssey, very, very easy. This is a very, very simple car. It is 7 to 10% off. And honestly, it's a great minivan. I say the Honda Odyssey is, I'll be very transparent, the most minivan there is to minivan. So if you are like, I want a minivan that is a minivan and does minivan things, the Honda Odyssey is a great example. Now, Ridgeline's a little bit weird. If you're in the Northeast, this market, a little bit crazy. They can get a little bit weird. They get a little bit funky if you're in New York on this car. I don't know why. It's not a real truck. I just said what I said. It's not a real truck. But if you're looking for an SUV that looks like a truck, the Honda Ridgeline. Realistically, you can get 7 to 8% off this car. Pretty consistently off this car, 7 to 8%. But if you're looking for a truck that's kind of like a truck, but not really a truck, the Ridgeline might be a great option for you. Is that it? Not everything? Did we hit all of them? Wow, that was quick. Wow. Thank you so much for watching this video and taking the time out of your day to support what we're doing. What my goal here with this channel is not only teach you guys how to buy cars, but to give you guys data that really nobody else has. Give you real-time deals so you know what to expect when you're negotiating your next car. But I do want to point out one very important thing. Every car and every deal is different. And when it comes down to it, if you're looking for a particular color or a particular option, there is a world where some of these discounts just do not get attained because competition is the driving force. When it comes down to all these deals, the way we get these deals is competition. Competition will always drive the price down. Secondly, these deals can change from week to week. So as much as we try to put as much accurate information on there, some of these deals can just change. I'll use an example. Last week, we talked about the Hakone GR86 getting $2,000 off of MSRP consistently. By the time that video happened, we were now at MSRP on those cars because there was only about 20 manual ones left in the country. So cars can change, markets can change. As long as you understand that, the whole goal of this is to give you as much education as possible. Thank you. Don't be afraid to like, follow, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.